Here's a little something a bit different from my building, my renovation stuff. I was passing through La Manche region of Normandy recently, and I've actually passed these sculptures many, many times before. In fact, they've added to it over the years from when I used to live in the area, and I just find it's absolutely wonderful, the quality of work, the quality of sculpture that they've done there, and just the amazing ideas that somebody's put into practice. These are all different sculptors that have obviously been invited to do their thing and have their works displayed. It's in a town called Saint-Michel-de-Montjoie, and that's on the D39 in the La Manche region of Normandy. If you were travelling from the two sort of major towns in the south of Normandy, Via on the eastern side and Avranches on the left-hand side. So if you're travelling from one to the other, you would probably pass through here, or you possibly pass through here. You get a chance to view these amazing sculptures. There is also a granite museum in the town. And a few years ago, I actually attempted to visit. I think it was on a Sunday, and it was closed. And I never actually got round to going into the museum to have a look round, because there's more works within there, and there's an explanation of how and why they do the things that they do. This particular area of La Manche is very, very granite orientated. Most of the buildings are built out of granite, which in fact is a characteristic more of Brittany than Normandy. Normandy, you think of the colombage housing, which is like in the UK we'd call Tudor style, where you've got the beam, you see the beams and the cob in between. But this particular part of Normandy must have had volcanoes at some stage to produce the granite, to produce the stone that everybody used for building the buildings that they constructed. And then somebody had the bright idea of, why don't we actually make artwork with the granite? Because let's face it, it's going to last indefinitely, isn't it? It's an amazing material. We used to, a lot of the what they call the pavés, the cobblestones that they use, were obviously granite, just because it lasts forever. We used to use the same in the UK from time to time. So yeah, so this is a lovely little town in this, like I say, in the south of Normandy. It's probably about 45 minutes from Mont Saint-Michel, the famous, the world famous, what is it, church cathedral on the island, which just borders Normandy and Brittany. And the people in Brittany say it should be classed as being in Brittany, and the Normans say no, sod off. It's remaining in Normandy, which is quite right. I do like this particular area of Normandy, La Manche, parce que it covers the whole of the coastline on the western side from Mont Saint-Michel right the way up to Cherbourg and a little bit beyond. So it's beautiful. And they say that if you live in La Manche, you're never more than 40 minutes from the seaside, no matter where you are in La Manche. So it's one of my favourite parts of France. There you go. That's just showing you the address there. If anybody ever wanted to pass by and have a look, if you're ever in the area, lots of people visit Normandy and visit the top end because the historic things with D-Day and all the rest of it. But the south is lovely as well, and obviously you've got the chance to be fairly close to Mont Saint-Michel, and then passing by through into Mayenne, or Brittany, or the other regions. So just going back to these sculptures, fascinating works, each one completely different from the next. they have little plaques as well on the bottom of them, which tells you the sculptor's name and the year that it was done. And one or two would date back to, I think, the early 2000s. It wasn't when we arrived in Normandy. Obviously the Granite Museum was still there, but they hadn't put these things in place as yet. And then obviously somebody thought, why not just stick them on a bit of a hillside, so that people can take pleasure when they're driving through. Um, and that's what artwork is all about, I suppose, isn't it? Taking pleasure from something that's aesthetically beautiful. Which I hopefully the house that I renovate in Loire-Cher will be aesthetically beautiful also. Possibly my favourite of these sculptures is the one a little bit earlier on that you saw, which is what I call the apple baby. So on one side you've got an apple which looks like it's had a chunk taken out of it, like a bite taken out of it. And when you look on the reverse side, actually there's a little baby, a little fetus growing within the apple. An interesting idea. And other things about this town is you quite high elevated here. So if you pass a little bit further along the town, going to westward, going towards Avranches, you can drive up a little bit of a hill, and you get a fantastic viewpoint of sort of the Normandy countryside. And if it's a clear day, just in the far distance, you can actually just catch a glimpse of Mont Saint-Michel. It's sort of the size of a pinhead because of the distance it is, but you can just see this little sort of triangle sticking up. And obviously there you're seeing from this vantage point here, you're seeing the coastline, and you're seeing, if you've got fantastic eyesight, or if you bring your binoculars with you, which would be better, wouldn't it? Or your telescope, you can get a good old view of Mont Saint-Michel, which again is a place really everyone should visit at least once in their lifetime. It's an absolutely wonderful place, inspiring place to visit. I knew a guy that actually did some of the renovation works on there, an English guy, and it's just a terrific place to visit. And you do all the guides, and that way you can. There's a guy that explains the tides and the problems you could have, that you could get stuck in the sand, and how to get out if you are stuck in the sand. But I digress, as I generally do when I'm waffling on. So going back to the sculptures, it's just I'm assuming that's somebody's mother or wife or daughter or grandmother. I don't know. Is it very French? Is it typically French, that the face? I don't know. Who could say? And then you've got things which are just, what would you say that is? Postmodernism. I don't know. Talking nonsense again. It's pointing north, it's pointing south. What else have we got? So there must be 20 odd sculptures here. There's another one that's just on the roadside. There's a little car park, and there's actually a cemetery nearby. And there's another one which looks like you'd say almost like a body trussed up and wrapped. It's not a great angle, unfortunately. If you look around, if you go around it, if you ever visit, it's an interesting concept. And then here we've just got like a 360-degree view of what you can see from the high point at Saint-Michel-de-Montjoie. I think someone said there's the place in the Sun did which is comical really for Normandy, but they did an episode here, which is one of the houses in this town was featured. Normally, place in the Sun, you think of Spain and stuff like that. Anyway, lovely town, lovely part of the world. If you ever get a chance, do visit. You can see the granite buildings there. And what I'll do, I'm going to leave you now. Thanks ever so much if you've taken the time to watch this video. I'll leave you now with the sights and sounds of my favourite part of Normandy, La Manche. So thanks, and I'll see you soon.